I think probably every TA professional can back me up on this. It just saves that admin burden, especially when someone like myself, I can interview up to 8 candidates a day from 9 o'clock in the morning through to 6 p.m. at night. And when you've got to do write-ups afterwards, the evaluation forms, especially when candidate experience is super crucial, you want to make sure that you give them a fair evaluation as well as delivering tangible feedback. So Metaview for me has been a game changer from one, reducing the admin burden, and also second of all, it lets you focus on the call in hand. So rather than type in, asking the questions, as well as trying to gather all the information, so you're like 50% listening, you can enjoy the call, deliver a really good candidate experience. And 9 times out of 10, there's a lot more quantitative feedback and tangible feedback using Metaview in comparison to maybe, half-hearted feedback from typing as quick as possible. I think that's probably been the best game changer from using Metaview so far. Yeah, definitely. It appeared to me as soon as I started using it, there was a lot more benefits from a hiring point of view. So you're able to get your hiring managers on it, especially when you work at small startups and you're working with C-suite or incredibly busy founders. They don't have the time to sit there and write evaluation forms because they're busy with fundraising and other crucial things that a startup does. So for me, firstly, it increased the speed of feedback. So one, you're able to get feedback a lot quicker because as soon as you finish the conversation with a candidate, it gets emailed to you and you've got tangible feedback there. So you're not waiting 4 days for a hire manager to give you feedback. You've got that instantly. You can knock off like 40% of the time to hire, which means that you can, in essence, beat your competitors at the speed of hiring people. Second of all, you're increasing the depth of feedback that you get, which means that you're increasing the candidate experience because firstly, you can actually give candidates very detailed, in-depth, tangible feedback. And then the last thing is you can use this to upskill hiring managers, especially when they're getting questions that they're not used to, for example, like frequency asked questions. So you can actually put this into a document and you can actually track that data that you're getting in candidates. So there's just so much more that you can use just in comparison to reducing the admin burden. And that came to a surprise because it's something that I hadn't initially thought about. If I was to give an average, say, for example, I had, say, 6 interviews a day during a busy period, that could easily save me, say, an hour, 2 hours a day writing up notes. So I would say on average, that could save me almost up to 8 to 10 hours on a weekly average writing up, which means, I've got hours to spend on other things, whether that's more interviews, whether that's continuous improvement projects internally, which can also turn into cost, right? When you think of hiring manager hours and the cost per hire, this can also reduce that because then they're not spending an extra 15, 20 minutes per interview putting that right up. So you can actually save from a cost perspective as well. Yeah. I don't think any TA sits there and enjoys doing a lot of the admin stuff. I think the favorite part of the job is sourcing and finding candidates and meeting candidates across different locations. So I definitely say it's increased my talent acquisition happiness, given that one, you're reducing the amount of admin stuff that you do, which isn't always people's favorite, and then also speeding up the productivity. So I definitely say it definitely increases the experience from my side, as well as hiring managers. Recently, I introduced it to a hiring manager who had never heard of Metaview. And again, now he's able to share the feedback with his CTO, and they've both had really great experiences. They've enjoyed interviewing with TA more because of Metaview, rather than sometimes recruitment seen as a burden. Give the recruiter the responsibility and let them find me magical candidates, so to speak. So it's definitely increased my experience, but also hiring managers' experience as well.